Hello everyone, this is Superhero Recaps and today's video is about the power of PR and the power of superheroes. The film begins with a car chase scene where a bunch of bad guys are being followed by some cop cars on a highway. While we see our protagonist, John, living in the streets. A kid comes and wakes him up, tells him about the bad guys and goes away. John picks up his whiskey bottle and starts flying. Our star is not your everyday good guy dreamy superhero. He is actually very untidy and reckless. He flies to the car chase scene doing some highway damage, and while he is trying to negotiate with the goons, they start shooting at him, to which John gets infuriated, picks their car up, and moves it around the city a little after crashing it in a tower. The news and media don't appreciate his efforts at all, instead, they curse him at all times. The scene is then cut from there and we see another character from the film, Ray, who's giving a PR pitch to a bunch of corporate giants about a product that he is launching. The pitch doesn't really go well and they think that Ray is an idiot. Ray leaves the building, gets into his car and drives to an intersection which is on rail lines. He is right there on the train track when the train is coming towards it. He tries to drive or get out of the car, but he is unable to do it just when John comes in, flips his car over, and stands in front of the train, wrecking the whole train but saving Ray's life. People start surrounding John, telling him that he has done the damage and start cursing him. Ray interjects and thanks him in front of everyone as a token of appreciation. We see Ray inviting him over for lunch at his place and introducing John to his wife. John and Mary share a look in a way that shows that they know each other already. We see them having lunch together where John, being John, has no manners on how to act around kids. He's drinking and telling him how to fight bullies. This triggers Mary and gives John a shut-up call, which again feels like they have a history together. While John is leaving their house, Ray offers him his services and wants to be his PR manager to improve his image in the public. John takes his card and flies away. Later we see that Mary doesn't approve of Ray's methods and tells him that offering John his services is a mistake while John is on their roof listening to all of this. We see that in a few days, John contacts Ray and visits him when Ray tells him that John needs to improve the way he solves crimes and resolves issues, because every time he tries to do something good, something bad happens. Ray tells him that he suspects that because John is lonely, he does these things to get people's attention. This is when Mary turns on TV where the news reporter is announcing that John's arrest warrant has been issued and he needs to submit himself to the law. To Ray, this is an amazing opportunity and a great PR stunt that they can pull off. He convinces John to submit himself to law and make a public apology for the damages he has done. John does that although he hates apologizing to the public, but still, he does it to make his life better. When John gets to the prison we see that the criminals he put in jail have surrounded him to take their revenge when he politely asks them to move and to excuse him. This is the first time we see John being nice, but since they don't move, John puts one of the criminals' head in the other criminal's butt, which is an iconic John punishment. Ray then visits him in prison and starts guiding him on how to be better. How to improve his aura, his superhero landing, and his attitude. He needs to make people love him, not hate him. We also see that in the news, crime has gone up by 30% since police alone are not able to stop the crime. Ray also teaches him how to be nice to cops and tells them that they did a good job, which should be a part of his superhero routine, but John cannot do it. He cannot say that even in practice, which shows how arrogant and ignorant he is. We then see that Mary and her son Aaron visit him in the prison and bring him lunch because Aaron wanted to meet him. Mary tells John that Ray is a good guy and he should not let him down. Aaron leaves him a dinosaur toy as an act of love from him. John is also taking crowd therapy to cut off alcohol and is sitting in the share circle every day but does not share anything. One day, while playing ball in the prison, a ball goes out of the fence, he jumps out, gets the ball, and gets back in. This shows that he is owning up to his mistake and getting better with each passing day. Ray brings him a costume and tells him to wear it when the police call him. He denies it and says he'd fight naked than being in that thing. But that's not what we see. One day, he gets a call from the police commissioner and he needs John's help. John shaves, flies off from the prison, and does a nice and clean superhero landing, and we see him in his costume. He tells the police officers that they did a good job referencing the training that Ray did. He fights the terrorists and saves everyone, finally becoming a hero that everyone just loves. Everyone praises him and wants to shake his hand. Ray, Mary, and John go out for dinner where Ray asks John how he got his powers, to which he replies that he doesn't know how he got them. He just woke up in the hospital with no clue about his identity, origin, or anything. He was just lying in the hospital unattended and had nobody around for him. While checking out, nurse asks if his name was John Hancock and he just said yes. Although he doesn't know who he is, and that becomes his identity. He also said that all this happened 80 years ago, confirming that along with the power to fly, and super strength, he also does not age. Listening to his story, Mary and Ray get emotional knowing how lonely John Hancock has really been. They then go back to Ray's place, where after tucking Ray in bed, he then visits his wife in the kitchen to tell her that Ray's asleep. Since they have had a weird energy since the beginning. They just look at each other and start kissing just when Mary throws him out of the house, far in the street. And warns him to never tell Ray about her. The next morning Ray wakes up and sees the hole in their house when Mary tells him that Hancock just sneezed. Hancock visits them again and asks her to meet and tell him about what's going on. She visits him the same day and tells him that they both are the same and there were more like them, but they all died. Just they are left. She also tells him that they are brother and sister. Which is very very weird because we just saw that kiss. Mary then tries leaving without answering more of John's questions when he flies away, saying that he will tell Ray everything. Mary flies as well and follows him. They crash a few buildings and attack each other, and in the ambush, Mary tells him that she will not let him ruin her life again. They have been doing this for 3,000 years and not anymore. While fighting, they crash on a road near a building where Ray is working and he sees both of them together. John apologizes to Mary and tells her that he doesn't remember anything or what he has done in the past. After seeing this, Ray gets back to his house where John and Mary fly back to. She tells Ray that she has powers as well. And she is way older than him. She also tells him that she and Hancock were formed in pairs and they are supposed to be husband and wife and have been like this always. For Ray, it's just too much to absorb and they all leave their separate ways. Hancock gets back to the liquor store where he buys another whiskey, quitting his non-alcohol streak. When two robbers are robbing the store, Hancock hits them and one of them fires at him. But this time the bullet doesn't bounce back, it penetrates him. He is rushed to the hospital then, where Mary visits him to comfort him. She also tells him that they get vulnerable when they get closer, hence they have to stay far from each other to stay powerful. While this is happening, 3 of the enemies that he made in prison break out of prison and come to the hospital to kill him. They end up shooting Mary instead. Mary, who is vulnerable as well since she is close to John, gets the hit. John takes out the criminals and gets shot several times as well. Each time he gets shot, she gets hurt. Showing how they are codependent and have been for a very very long time. Mary's heartbeat stops and John passes away in the hospital hallway as well. In his last attempt to try and save Mary, he gathers the energy and jumps out of the window. He can't fly since he cannot fully use his powers. But the farther he gets from Mary, the more powerful he gets, and Mary gets alive back again. We see Hancock flying out of the scene, showing that he did what he could to save her love. We then see that a month later, Ray and Mary are back together and Hancock is out being a superhero again. Hancock and Ray are also on good terms since he gives Ray a parting gift. If you like this video, check out our channel for more superhero recaps. We do all kinds of stories, from the ones you have seen to the ones you have never heard of. Thanks for watching. Superhero Recaps, signing off.